What's happening, guys? It is garage update time. There has been a lot of changes since the last time I did a garage update, and I wanted to run through the stuff with you guys because, you know, I've just started posting videos again with my F3 800, but there were some changes to the collection, so I figured I'd share it with you. So let's get going. The first piece of garage update news doesn't have anything to do with bikes, actually. It's really with me. So we are back in the Phoenix Valley, if you haven't figured that out. Reason being is, well, let's just say moving back to the East Coast, because I'm originally from Massachusetts, but let's just say moving back to the New England area, the experiment didn't go well. The New England experiment didn't go as expected, and the truth be told is that all of our children and grandchildren and everybody are really here. So we moved back here really to be closer to them, to see their grandbabies and things of that nature. But the cold and snow didn't help at all. So that's the first piece of information. Now let's move on to the bikes. Next up is my MV Agusta F3 800 track bike. You guys should know about this one because I've recently started posting videos about it. For some of you that have been rocking with me for a while, you know that this is my second F3 800. I originally had a 2014, this one's a 2015. I had a 2014 all white that I used to ride on the street. I love that bike, and I don't want to say that I regret parting with it, but I did have a desire to get another one. So this is a dedicated track bike that we're putting together with an F3XX ethos, providing inspiration. A lot of good things happening on this bike. We got lots of carbon fiber that's going on it. Brake updates, intake runners, suspension, brake modifications, mountains of parts over here, wheels, so forth and so on. So good things happening on this bike. Don't know how many episodes it'll be, but yeah, good stuff. You guys know about the BMW S1000RR. This is my 2011 dedicated track bike. S1000RR. It was my first project bike on the channel. So this thing has seen a lot of changes over the years, lots of good stuff. And for the most part, this bike has been rock solid. I did have one issue where I was tracing for a while that turned out to be, what was it? Coils, sorry, ignition coils. I couldn't think of the word, sorry about that. But it turned out to be ignition coils, and once I replaced the coils, everything was fine. But we've upgraded brakes on this thing, both calipers, rotors, brake master cylinder. What else did we do? We did exhaust on this thing. I don't even know. There's so much done to it, I can't remember it all. But the last time you saw this bike, I had replaced a number of things. I had done a Bren tuning handheld ECU flash, along with installing a Rapid Bike Evo unit. We did velocity stack mods, if you remember that nightmare of a project to get those done. We did that. And then I was going to take the bike to the track and you know, give you guys a review of that, and that never happened. So where we are with this bike since you've last seen it is I've installed a lightweight subframe from Tight Tails. You can see that right now it's silver, so I'll probably take that off and powder coat it black because it's sort of bothering me because I'm OCD like that. And I've uninstalled the Rapid Bike Evo unit. The reason I did that is that when I went with the Bren tuning handheld unit, I really wanted the ECU to be flashed, and I really wanted custom dyno tuning. I didn't get that, unfortunately. Bren tuning at the time was going away from actual ECU tuning on a dyno, and they really were pushing their handheld units. And what I should have done was I should have just held off and not got the unit and went to someone who could actually flash this ECU directly. But I ended up going with the Bren tuning handheld unit. I flashed the ECU with that unit, only to find out that the ECU flash did not account for the velocity stack mod that we done. And according to Bren Tuning, that I still needed to run a Piggyback fuel controller. Now I will post a link in the top of this video and in the comment section below as to why you should not use Piggyback fuel controllers when suitable ECU flashing is available. Great video here by Two Wheel Dyno Tuning, I believe it is. Don't quote me on that, but I'll place the link on the screen. But they give you all types of reasons why you shouldn't or not necessarily why you shouldn't use them, but why they should be a last resort. And they're really limited in what you can and cannot adjust. And you can't always get what you want. And sometimes the up maps or the tunes that are installed in them are generic and not specifically for your bike and what you're trying to do. So largely I was unhappy with the Bren Tuning ECU flash and how this bike was performing. I sort of felt like it wasn't accelerating like it used to, that it wasn't really pulling hard, and that overall I was just unhappy. Now that I'm back in AZ, the shop over in Chandler, Reparto Veloce, owned by Jason, he can flash this ECU directly. So I've gone ahead and I've removed the Rapid Bike Evo unit, and I flashed the ECU back to stock. And the idea was that I would put this on the dyno with him, and him and his team would come up with a specific tune for this bike and then flash the ECU. I had planned to do that a couple of months ago, then I had some life changes, so that's on hold. So I will probably do that this summer because it is early May. And it is probably about a week and a half from ridiculously hot. And I probably won't have this bike, well, not probably, I know I will not have this bike back out on the track until September of this year. So I'll probably get it on the dyno between now and then to get a proper ECU flash. But I have also removed the shift power quick shifter and auto blipper off of this bike. I primarily did that because I couldn't get it working and it was just too dangerous. What I mean by that is on 3 separate occasions while out on the track, it caused the engine of the bike to just shut off. All of the electronics were still on, the bike still had electrical power, but the engine was not running. And what I ended up having to do was stop, find neutral, restart the bike, and then everything would reset and I could move on about my day. The very first time that it happened, I was at Palmer. I had just done the sighting lap. I was maybe 3rd or 4th in line, so I know there were bikes behind me, and it was coming out on the front straight. I grabbed a handful of throttle, popped 3rd, and the engine shut off. And there were bikes behind me. That's scary as all hell because, riders behind you are expecting you to accelerate, and all of a sudden your bike comes to a crawl. So I was afraid that someone was going to run into the back of me and just call it a really, really bad day for a number of people. So, I got it back to the pits. I tried a couple of things. It didn't work out. It happened another 2 times after that. And since then I said, I'm not going to ride this thing until I pull it off. So pulled it off and then all was well. So I don't know what was going on there. I tried to work with the vendor back in UK to figure out what was happening, but ultimately that went nowhere. So I had to remove the shift power, quick shifter, and auto blipper. So unfortunately I cannot give a thumbs up to that. That is where we stand with the S1000RR track bike. If I had to do it all over again, I would not do the Bren Tuning handheld ECU flash, and I would have not purchased the Rapid Bike Evo unit, obviously. So this bike still has all the other mods, but those items have been removed, and we are back to a stock ECU flash at the moment. That brings us to the Panigale V4 Speciale. This is my only street bike in the collection now. I love this bike. Since the last time you saw it, I've done nothing but ride this bike. This bike has been awesome. We did a 520 chain conversion. We did the rear spindle and hub, all AEM factory stuff. We did some small bits of carbon fiber on the side. We did do a Bren Tuning ECU flash with their handheld unit. And we have a few other bits and bobs on it. Obviously the carbon fiber Thys and Crump wheels are the biggest mod that we made to this bike, but it already came with a clear clutch cover. We did the EvoTech quick release fuel cap, and I've added a quad lock for my phone, but that's really about it. Some bar end mirrors. We got rid of the horrible mirrors, stock mirrors that were on the bike, installed some Futurist Moto mirror block-offs with LED turn signals integrated in them. But yeah, just some basic stuff. I've just ridden this bike. It's rock solid. The thing sounds amazing. It rides amazing. It's amazing. And I haven't done anything else to it other than ride it. It's been fantastic. That's really it. Those 3 bikes are in my collection. That means the other 2 bikes, oh, you can't really see me now. let's back that up. There we go. Let's do this way. That means the other two bikes are gone. So both MV Agusta F4 1000s are gone. Both the track bike and our wreck bike rebuild bike, the 2012 MV F4RR Corsa Corta, are both gone. They have new homes. So I parted with those bikes to help finance the F3 800 track build, basically. Obviously, and to put a little bit of cash in my pocket. But I felt it was time to part with those bikes. I wasn't riding them a whole lot. Along with the Aprilia RSV4, our special edition that we had. I parted with that bike almost a couple of years ago now, so there's not really worth mentioning. But wasn't riding those bikes at all. The Track MV was a backup bike, and my S1000 was pretty much running well all the time, so it just sat around and never rode it. In the Aprilia, after I got the Ducati, it was just sitting around as well, along with the wreck bike rebuild F4 Corsa Corta. So those are just sitting around, and while those bikes weren't costing me anything, motorcycles, cars, vehicles, they're depreciating items. So if you're not using them and they're just sitting around, they're losing money by just sitting around. Rarely will they ever gain money unless they're a super limited production bike or something along those lines, some kind of specialty bike. But if they're just run-of-the-mill bikes, they're depreciating and they're losing money. And if I'm not using them, then I might as well part with them, put that money in my pocket, and use it towards something else. But yeah, so both MVs are gone. They are in southwestern Texas, I believe. So if you happen to see them running around in Texas streets and tracks, say what's up to the new owner, because he bought them both. But beyond that, that is my update, guys. So I am Derek. This is Euro Superbike Life. You guys know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, or smash the video if you didn't like it. Please click that bell. Please click on like, because it helps to bring my content to more people. I can do more content. Till next time, guys. Take care.